WCA.
Ocala.
Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Ocala, baby, what makes you look so good? Why don't you love me like I know you could? Everybody tells me how the rock and roll, the rock and roll is gonna suit my soul. I don't care about
5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Kelli Hart is in the studio, the effervescent Kelli Hart. How you doing, Kelli?
Fantastic, thanks.
Time for Ocala Magazine Radio. I have something for you today, by the way.
Okay.
I know you probably have something you want to talk about. And you've got a guest coming in as well?
I sure do.
Is that our guest right there?
There she comes, yes.
All right.
So
Well, here you go. Here's what I got for you.
What do you have for me?
Twinstrangers.com. Just look up, see if you have somebody else in the planet who looks like you. And when you see the video that they put on that page, it is unbelievable how closely these people look like other people.
They say everybody has a doppelganger somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not-
Seven of them is what
Yes.
it says. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to check that out. Yesterday, we did an app called Age Booth, I think it's called, where you put in your picture and it shows you what you're going to look like. Like it showed me what I'm going to look like at 69 or something. Just don't
How'd
do
you
it.
look? How'd you look?
Terrible.
That never looks right, though.
Oh, I looked absolutely awful.
It's called Age Booth?
I think it's called Age
Is
Booth.
it online or is it just on an
It's
app?
an app. You can get it on the App Store. It's called Age Booth, and then there's Fat Booth and
Fat Booth?
all kinds of stuff. So if you want to see just how horrible you can potentially look, download the app. Yeah, it was terrible. I wanted to call Dr. Niger and just start making payment plans towards a future investment in surgeries. But
What was that other one we found that one time? What was that other one? Oh, how old
do you look?
How old do you look?
Yes,
That's right.
I loved that one because it said I looked 28.
You said you look younger.
That was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I have a very special guest with me, Erica Summers. I interviewed Erica for a really special story that I wrote for this
I
month's
saw the story.
Ocala magazine. It's called Trapped, and it's talking about the transgender culture because, of course,
Right.
that is huge, all over national topic right now. Thanks to, I guess, I don't want to say thanks to Bruce Jenner, but I think his
the
platform,
current conversation is because of him.
His platform really kind
Or
of
her.
accelerated it. So I had an opportunity to interview 3 people for this story. One of them being Erica, so good morning.
Good morning.
Happy to have you here. So I just want Erica to give us a little bit of background, although it's in the story. So I want to encourage people to pick up the issue and take a moment to read it thoroughly. But just give us a little bit of a background so people kind of understand your history and how this transgender lifestyle relates to you personally.
Okay, so I'm currently 30 years old, and I grew up very feminine. I didn't personally understand what being transgendered meant. I liked the girl things. I wanted dolls and dresses, makeup, high heel shoes, pantyhose and stockings. I wanted lacy things, like everything that my sisters had. So growing up, it was hard, and the word transgender didn't come up. I just thought that I was born in the wrong body. And apparently that's a common thing for transgender people to feel. I didn't really understand it until I was older, like 21, where I started talking to other individuals who were going through the same thing, and some people who had already went through the same thing. And some people's families supported them, some people's families didn't. I became immersed in the transgender culture. I met people. I've seen botched black market silicone surgery and work, and people pumping themselves with saline solution. I've seen people use mineral oils. I've seen people use mayonnaise.
Wow.
And
Mayonnaise.
So dangerous.
I use mayonnaise.
Not for the same reasons I'm certain. Yeah.
to pump their hips and
By eating it or injecting it?
Injecting it into
Oh,
their
my
bodies.
goodness.
I know. I know. I was just so honored at how open you were in sharing your story with me because, of course, just like everybody else, it's in the news, and so I'm tuned in, trying to understand it. It's not something that I've personally experienced or even anybody really close to me. So I really wanted to understand it, and it's funny. I've had really, really good feedback about this story, which I'm very grateful for. A lot of people that reached out. Just happy that something like this would be in an Ocala magazine because it's so controversial. I did get an email yesterday morning that I thought that I would share, and maybe you can give some feedback after I tell you. So I got an email that first, obviously the lady was reading the article, so that's great. So my first response was thank you for reading, because you don't have to agree, but we sure appreciate people reading. So her argument was, at first she made the assumption that, I possibly am not a Christian or don't know God, because if I did, I would certainly.
Oh, she accused you of that?
Yes.
Okay.
That certainly I would know better than this, because God is angry about this, and He's angry with the world, and kind of use that the God angle, which, as a believer or non-believer, I think you run into that quite often. So. So because the people I interview are transparent with me, I wanted to be transparent with her. And so, of course, I responded and made it very clear my beliefs in God, and that I'm a devout Christian. I believe in God. My God, though, believes that we should love everybody, even your enemy. I mean, the person that hurts you.
For God so loved the world.
Exactly. And so I wanted her to better understand that, number one, I'm just Kelli Hart first. So my personal beliefs and then my profession as a writer are two different things. That doesn't mean that there's not a blurred line. There is. But my reason for writing the story was not to say that you have to believe it, that you have to agree, that you have to live it, or that you even have to understand it, but that you do have to love and respect everybody, regardless of what they're going through internally, externally, their lifestyles, their cultures, their choices. That's what I believe people are called to do. So it was really a way to start a dialogue, but in that email she also said, just because a young child plays with toys from the opposite sex growing up, that in no way, shape, or form means that you are trapped in a different body, etc. And so, of course,
well, that's probably true. It doesn't mean
it's very true, because I mean, listen, my dad has owned a sawmill my whole life. I grew up tomboy, climbing trees, skint knees, very, very masculine type things. I was never really into the dolls or the pantyhose.
And look how masculine you look now.
Even today, I don't want to wear pantyhose, So
I hope you know I was teasing.
Yeah, of course. So I think she kind of missed the mark a little, and I'm hoping my response in her set it straight a little bit. But do you get that a lot? Do you get the people that say, "Oh, you're full of it"? I mean,
yeah. I grew up in a Christian household, very Christian, and my parents were taught. My mother's a pastor's child, and she was taught more than anything you don't have to understand what someone else is going through. You don't have to know what they're going through personally, but you should still respect that person and care for them or love them. Everyone has a different path in life to walk, and it's hard to kind of to understand every single aspect of what someone else is going through. So in Christianity, a lot of times people don't get that you shouldn't judge. It's open love. It's open love, no matter what it is. If you say you're a Christian, you believe in the same God I do. If you believe that Jesus died on a cross for your sins, then I personally believe that you should love everyone equally, without preconceptions or without even agreeing with the choices that person makes.
Oh, sure. I mean, when I write something, I'm not saying I'm writing it because I'm agreeing. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that I've written about.
I get the same thing with this show.
Yeah, I mean, I have a job to do, so I have a responsibility as a writer and for Ocala magazine, and that's to start a dialogue, and that's really my only goal. So if someone were to read this and maybe they have a conversation with their family, and the end result is they just think that this is the worst thing ever, and they just don't get it, and they just don't agree with it. At least they had an open dialogue about it. because once you start a dialogue about something,
Well-
I think then you're more apt to learn or seek out more information, and maybe your opinion will change. Maybe you'll at least open yourself up to the idea of, I don't agree with it, but wow, this person's struggle was so real and so serious. I mean, we're talking about being bullied. We're talking about people
Right.
who have been bullied and hurt, and some people
Self-esteem,
killed.
yeah.
Or like you say, killing themselves because they feel so much pressure to look a certain way that they're willing to put toxic things into their body. I mean, that's serious.
Wow. Do you know what the article does, and what we're doing right now, is it puts a different face on it than Bruce or Caitlyn Jenner.
Right.
Because somebody cynical, somebody questioning might say, this is a publicity stunt. There's no publicity needed here. I mean, this is just somebody's personal life trying to feel whole and feel like included, I guess.
Right.
But there are other actually well-known transgender people in the community that we look up to right now. Laverne Cox is
yes.
really becoming the face of the transgender community because she put herself out there for the world to see, and we saw her transition and go through the different phases.
Do you know who Laverne Cox
No,
is?
I don't know who that is.
She plays on the Orange is the New Black. If
You do know Orange is the New Black, right?
Oh, I will look it up. I will look it up.
Okay.
Kelly knows I don't know much about TV. But RuPaul, was RuPaul a transgender, or was that just an act?
No, she's a drag queen, which is different than being transgender.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up because prior to the show, we had that conversation briefly. In people's confusion, I think there's so many different facets to
Yes.
this that people, and I love when they ask because that means they want to understand. So that's good. That means they're trying to not be ignorant about it. They're really trying to understand. So tell us, what is the difference between someone transgender and a cross-dressing individual?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so there are a few different things.
Okay.
There are cross-dressers, and those are basically males who like to dress as a female. It's more of a fetish than a lifestyle choice. A drag queen would be a male who entertains as a female. And female impersonation, that's another name for it. That's RuPaul and a lot of other drag queens. Like almost everyone who's been on RuPaul's Drag Race are drag queens. Then you have transgendered individuals, and transgender means that you're transitioning to the sex that wasn't assigned to you at birth. So a drag queen usually lives their life as a male,
Right.
but they perform as a female. And it's a job. Like, people don't understand. Even drag is a job. You pay taxes on it. You do everything for it.
I had a few jobs that were drags, too.
Yeah.
Can we take a little
I can
break?
imagine,
We'll,
yeah.
Yes,
we'll,
we'll
we'll
take
be
a
right
break.
back. This is WLCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Today, partly sunny, a high of 88 to 91. Then tonight, mainly clear skies, a low of 70 to 76. Tomorrow to start the weekend, partly sunny, a thunderstorm in parts of the area for the afternoon, a high of 89 to 94. And then to round out the weekend on Sunday, partly sunny, a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, a high of 88 to 96. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Evan Duffy.
Pay your taxes, eat your vegetables, watch your weight, mow the lawn, clean the house. We all have stuff we don't want to do. Isn't it about time you did something you wanted to do? Like getting your pilot's license? At Ocala Aviation, they make it fun and easy, and you can start by taking one of their discovery flights. For only $99, you get to go up in the airplane with an FAA-certified flight instructor and actually fly the plane yourself. It's a perfect way to see if flying is for you. And once you get that ultimate feeling of freedom, Ocala Aviation can train you to get your pilot's license. Ocala Aviation also offers commercial flight training for those looking to make a career change and enter the world of commercial aviation. Ocala Aviation is conveniently located at the Ocala International Airport. So if you're ready to start your adventure, stop by or give them a call today. 861-7484. That's 861-7484. You'll be glad you did. I know I am. Ocala Aviation. Call today. 861-7484.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, And when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind. With a custom treatment plan that really works, I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Fidgeting can make it easier to lose weight. Many couples think that once they're married, all their issues with in-laws will disappear, but Steinhardt says a marriage magnifies these problems, so if you're having family clashes with potential in-laws, it's best to resolve those issues before you get married. Just like couples can take out a loan for a house or a new car, there's been a huge surge in loan companies catering to wannabe parents.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
All right, let's return to Ocala Magazine Radio. Kelli Hart is here. What a fascinating conversation we're having. Introduce your guest again, please.
This is Erica Summers. She was interviewed for the feature Trapped that I wrote for this month's Ocala Magazine. Please pick it up. It's already being shared on social media, which is just fascinating because I love seeing it shared and I love seeing the comments and the dialogue that started there. Erica, what do you say to people who insist that this is a choice? This is not psychological. This is not an issue that you were born with, that you at some point just made a choice in this.
Over the years, I've learned just not to argue with people. It's hard, but I let them know if this is a choice for me, being Christian or being Jewish or whatever race you were born is a choice for you. And like you have to become who you feel like you need to become. If you want to be a writer, of course you're going to study and become a writer. My choice, if those are the words that people want to say, is to become a woman. So that's what it is. I can't argue with people. I can't change their mindsets. All I can do is prove stereotypes wrong.
Sure. Well, I've had a couple people ask me after doing the interviews, Kelli, do you think that this is something that someone is born with, or if this is a choice? And I guess my answer has been because I don't know, because I personally don't know to answer it.
Right.
What does it matter? I mean, what does it matter if this person at 3 years old or 4 or 5 already felt different interacting with their peers and in, with their cohorts and in social settings, or if at 12 years old they just made the choice? I really am into nails and fashion and clothes and makeup, so I'm choosing. I mean, really, if you get down to brass tacks, what would it really matter?
Well, absolutely. I think you're absolutely right. But I think what we contribute to this life is more important than the things we identify with.
Well, we could dissect everybody. I mean, someone could ask me, because my ex-husband is African American, someone could ask me, well, why did you choose to love someone of a different race? Well, I don't remember really sitting down ever consciously making the decision. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start only, I never.
You can't analyze it.
You can't. Some people will just say, well, you just, love is blind. You just love who you love. Other people will argue that there was a choice there, that we could dissect everything from why did you choose to have your hair color that way? Why did you choose plastic surgery? Why did you choose to only have one child versus the person that has 4? I mean,
but to be stuck on it, we don't know what Erica does. So I mean, what is your job? What is your talent? What is that? Maybe that's a better question.
My day job, I have a doctorate in food science. I consult with restaurants. At night, I do perform as a drag queen, and I travel around Florida doing that. But my day job keeps me busy enough, so I consult with a lot of well-known restaurants.
Do your clients know that you're transgender?
Some do, some don't. It's It hasn't came up in a while.
Now that you're in the magazine, it'll
Yeah, well, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
I think
sure it
it's
will.
obvious now.
Yeah, but I mean, most people and some just don't care. Once people do find out, they're shocked, and they're like they would have never known if I wouldn't have said anything, or if someone else wouldn't have said they've seen me perform at a nightclub or something.
right.
So
Sure. So now, being a woman, is it still really considered being a drag queen? Or are you just performing?
yeah, I mean, it's a different type of drag, but
Okay.
it's a little bit easier for transgendered people.
Sure.
Less makeup, less this and that. I keep my nails done so I don't have to worry about putting on press
Right.
on. So
Yeah, that's a lot of work. I
Yeah,
mean, think
it
about
is.
that.
Can I
There's-
ask you a physical question? Your face. I mean, you've got such beautiful skin. That's not like a man would have. What do you do? How do you do that? Do you have to shave or no?
yeah, I do, but it's not often. I try to get laser every once in a while, but for me personally, it's just a lot of skincare, and estrogen smooths out your skin. It makes it a lot smoother. It makes hair grow slower. It rounds out your face. It does a lot.
I can tell you that a lot of biological women shave their face. Did you know that?
Well, I heard John Tesh talking about it.
That is not that's not uncommon.
Yeah, but not as much as a man would. So, and you can't tell on her face at all.
Right. But yeah. I won't put my friends out there, but I have a few that.
Yeah, but if you didn't, I mean, a person born as a male would have
Well, sure.
Duck Dynasty.
No, there are ways
A
around
woman
it.
wouldn't have Duck Dynasty.
No.
There are ways
I
around
wouldn't
Oh,
do
so the
that.
estrogen is what puts it.
Well, for some people, it's different for everyone. Some people just have to get the LASIK because they have such a 5 o'clock shadow or beard area.
Yeah.
Right.
My hair just naturally grew slower than most people's. Like, my parents say I was born to be a woman, so like I've always had smooth
So
skin.
they embrace it. They accept you.
Yeah, they did.
Well, that's good.
And I think that's awesome. 2 out of the 3 people I interviewed, one wanted to remain anonymous. I had to change the name because there's still a lot of volatile issues within their family. So I do talk about it, but the name is changed just for their own protection. But I was really happy how much your family embraced it. And then the other person I interviewed, Mike, is only 14 years old. And so he's having to deal right now with a lot of the changes and transition during adolescence, which is already a
Mike
very
is born a girl?
Right.
Okay.
A very awkward time as it is. And so to deal with that, but likewise his family really supportive, and I thought that's awesome. You know, I guess I wasn't really anticipating these families being so supportive because
So are there shows where women perform as men? Do
yeah.
people pay to see men?
Yeah,
Why?
they're called drag kings.
Drag kings.
Yeah.
I never knew
Wow.
that. I never heard that. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very-
I think it's just obviously it's a hot topic. We could talk about it all day long. But first I want to thank you for participating with the magazine and then for being here today because the whole point is to humanize everybody. You know, if she chooses to wear nails and mascara or not, it doesn't matter. I mean, if I choose to wear nails or mascara, I'm a human. I'm a mom and I'm a daughter and I have a job and I am contributing to society, and the same with Erica. And so the point being is you don't have to agree with anything, but you do have an obligation as a human person to respect and love other people, and certainly zero tolerance for any type of violence.
Well said.
So that's where I am with that. So thank you so much. Please pick up the June issue. There's a lot of other fascinating stories as well. Share this on Facebook and like us on Facebook. Because I think that right now there's a great dialogue happening there, and I hope everyone has a great weekend. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
All right, that was fascinating. We'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
Everybody tells me how the rock and roll is gonna suit my soul. I don't care about no rock and jive, just wanna be your man tonight. Ocala, baby.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Today, partly sunny, a high of 88 to 91. Then tonight, mainly clear skies, a low of 70 to 76. Tomorrow to start the weekend, partly sunny, a thunderstorm in parts of the area for the afternoon, a high of 89 to 94. And then to round out the weekend on Sunday, partly sunny, a thunderstorm in spots in the afternoon, a high of 88 to 96. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Evan Duffy.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Pitches his own party on a controversial trade bill up for a vote in the House where
only about 20 Democrats support the president on the issue. As a result, the president is relying on Republicans to pass the measure. Fast Track will give the president the power to submit trade deals to Congress for an up or down vote without amendments.
Fox Radio's John Decker. Wholesale prices jumping in May as gas and egg prices rise, and the Golden State Warriors even the series in the NBA Finals with a 103-82 win in Cleveland over the Cavaliers.
Last night it was Andre Iguodala's turn to stand out.
Our team has been really good at just letting it flow.
Iguodala was mostly responsible for holding LeBron James to 20 points. As if James didn't have a bad enough night, he was accidentally exposed on the game's live telecast when a camera